Imagine a giant curtain of netting drifting silently through the ocean. At the surface, floats keep the top of this wall suspended while heavy weights drag the bottom downward. At the very base, a thick rope runs along the opening. When fishermen haul this rope tight, the entire net cinches closed like a drawstring bag, trapping everything inside. This method is called purse seining, one of the most widely used techniques for catching tuna. Once the circle is closed, crews slowly pull the walls of the net toward the vessel. The shimmering bodies of hundreds, sometimes thousands of fish, are concentrated into a dense mass. Some are pumped aboard with suction hoses, while others are scooped out with smaller dip nets. The size of these purse seines can be astonishing, stretching hundreds of meters across. They are designed to target schooling species like tuna, especially yellowfin. One of the key advantages of this method is selectivity. Fishermen usually aim for one species at a time, reducing the amount of unwanted catch. Unlike bottom trawling purse seines rarely touch the seabed, so their impact on fragile marine habitats is minimal. However, there's a catch. When purse seines are deployed around floating objects such as man-made fish aggregating devices known as FADs, they attract far more than tuna. Schools of juvenile fish sharks, even turtles, often shelter under these rafts. When the net closes, all of them are trapped together. Some regions like Australia have banned the use of FADs for purse seine tuna to minimize collateral damage. But elsewhere, this remains a pressing conservation challenge. Yellowfin tuna. The star of many fisheries are powerful creatures of the open sea. They roam tropical and subtropical oceans worldwide, forming large, fast-moving schools near the surface. Unlike the immense bluefin, yellowfin are slightly smaller, but still formidable, often weighing 100 to 150 pounds, with the largest specimens tipping the scales near 400. Their name comes from their striking fins. The second dorsal and anal fins glow a brilliant yellow and can stretch back almost to the tail. Mature fish sport these long, curved streamers that make them instantly recognizable. They live fast, grow quickly, and reach maturity by about 2 to 3 years of age. A female is capable of releasing millions of eggs each year, anywhere from 5 to 60 million, depending on her size. Spawning takes place throughout the year in warm waters, but peaks when ocean temperatures rise in each hemisphere. In the Atlantic, one major spawning ground is the Gulf of Mexico, while another extends into the Caribbean. In the Indian Ocean and Pacific, spawning grounds stretch across tropical zones where currents converge. Though yellowfin tuna live only 5 to 10 years, they are among the ocean's ultimate predators. Their torpedo-shaped bodies, high metabolic rate, and ability to regulate body temperature above surrounding waters allow them to cruise at speeds of 30 kilometers per hour for days and burst to over 70 kilometers per hour in short chases. This combination of speed and endurance makes them both a prize for sport fishermen and a mainstay of commercial fleets. Yellowfin tuna isn't just another fish pulled from the sea. It's a global commodity with an enormous economic footprint. Walk into a supermarket in New York, London, or Tokyo, and chances are you'll see yellowfin on the shelves, either canned as light tuna or served fresh in sushi bars and restaurants. The global tuna market is worth billions of dollars annually, and yellowfin alone accounts for a massive share of that trade. In the United States, Europe, and parts of Asia, yellowfin is used in sandwiches, salads, and ready-to-eat meals. In high-end dining, it's seared rare and plated as a premium cut. In coastal communities across Africa and South Asia, it's a crucial source of affordable protein. In short, yellowfin is everywhere from school cafeterias to Michelin star restaurants. But this global appetite has consequences. Industrial fleets deploy massive purse seine nets that can stretch for hundreds of meters, corralling schools of tuna in a single set. Long-line vessels put out kilometers of hooks, each baited to attract large pelagic fish. Even artisanal fishers in small boats, often using hand lines or pole and line methods, are part of this vast network feeding global demand. The combined effect is staggering. Scientists estimate that annual yellowfin catches in the Indian Ocean alone exceed 400,000 metric tons. That is well above what fisheries experts call the maximum sustainable yield. When juvenile tuna are captured before they've had a chance to reproduce, the breeding population shrinks. Over time, this imbalance threatens the survival of the species itself. To make matters worse, technology has made fishing far more efficient. Satellite tracking allows vessels to locate schools with pinpoint accuracy. Fish aggregating devices floating objects that draw tuna and other species concentrate fish, but also increase the capture of juveniles and bycatch. The odds are increasingly stacked against yellowfin. This isn't simply about one species. Tuna are apex predators balancing ocean ecosystems by regulating populations of smaller fish and squid. Their decline disrupts the entire marine food web, with ripple effects felt across oceans. Managing yellowfin stocks is not just a biological challenge, it's a geopolitical struggle. Dozens of nations depend on tuna for livelihoods, exports, and food security. Every attempt to regulate fishing quotas involves hard negotiations, where economic interests often outweigh scientific advice. Take the Indian Ocean Tuna Commission (IOTC) for example. Its scientists have warned for years that yellowfin catches must be cut by at least 30% to give the stock a chance to recover. Yet member states repeatedly fall short of enforcing this target. Why? Because powerful, distant water fleets, particularly those from the European Union, resist deep cuts, knowing they would lose millions in profits. The Maldives, a small island nation built on fishing, has argued passionately for stronger action. Their fishers rely on pole and line methods that are far more sustainable, and they want to protect tuna for future generations. They proposed a 35% cut in industrial catches, but after heated debates, the compromise landed closer to 20%, a level experts describe as toothless. Meanwhile, coastal nations like Somalia, Yemen, and Madagascar face a different challenge. Their waters are heavily fished by foreign fleets under weak monitoring, leaving local communities struggling to compete. These countries rely on tuna, not only for export income, but also as a key food source. For them, the crisis isn't about profit margins, it's about survival. Beyond economics lies a deeper ecological cost. Yellowfin are migratory, traveling across entire oceans. If one region overfishes, the consequences are felt everywhere. Yet international law struggles to enforce accountability. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing further complicates the picture as vessels underreport catches or switch flags to avoid restrictions. The result? A classic tragedy of the commons. Every fleet tries to maximize its short-term gains, but collectively this pushes the species toward collapse. Unless stronger enforcement and genuine international cooperation emerge. Yellowfin's future remains uncertain. Despite the grim outlook, there is still hope. Fisheries scientists emphasize that if catches are reduced by at least 30%, now yellowfin populations could recover within a decade. But that window is rapidly closing. Solutions exist. Better monitoring through electronic observers, satellite tracking, and DNA testing can ensure accountability. Transparent supply chains can prevent illegally caught tuna from entering markets. Some companies already invest in blockchain systems to track every fish from net to plate. Consumer choices are equally powerful. Look for eco-labels such as MSC Marine Stewardship Council or Fair Trade Certified Tuna. These labels signal that the tuna was harvested responsibly with respect for ecosystems and fishing communities. Opting for faster-growing species like skipjack can also ease pressure on yellowfin. For local fishers, empowering small-scale community-based methods is key. Pole and line fishing, for example, catches tuna one by one with virtually no bycatch. It sustains jobs, provides food, and protects the resource for the future. Supporting these fisheries through fair prices and market access can shift the balance away from industrial exploitation. On a broader scale, global cooperation is critical. Stronger agreements under organizations like the IOTC, combined with real enforcement and penalties for violations, can set yellowfin on a path to recovery. Coastal states must have a stronger voice, ensuring that the benefits of tuna fishing reach local communities rather than distant corporations. Ultimately, the story of yellowfin tuna is a reflection of our relationship with the ocean. Will we treat it as an infinite resource to exploit, or as a shared inheritance to protect? The answer lies in the decisions of governments, corporations, and everyday consumers. The next time you see tuna on your plate, whether seared in a restaurant or tucked into a sandwich, remember the journey behind it: vast nets sweeping through tropical waters, political battles over quotas, and the livelihoods of coastal families. Behind each bite is an entire global system. The fate of yellowfin tuna is not sealed. With science cooperation and conscious choices, we can write a different ending, one where oceans remain full of life, communities thrive, and future generations still have the chance to marvel at one of the sea's most extraordinary fish.